This will be our first cruise.
We will spend the next 3 days on the Costa Fascinosa cruise ship on what is known as a mini cruise. As first-time cruisers, we figured it would be a great way to dip our toes in the cruising world and test John's fear of the open ocean.
John is doing really well regarding his fear of the ocean.
And my proneness to seasickness without breaking the bank. With that, let's begin our trip in Madrid, Spain.
Hola and welcome back. We are in Madrid to catch a train to Barcelona where our cruising adventure begins. Without further ado, let's board our train and head over to the cruise terminal.
The Spanish springtime landscape rushed by us at 186 miles per hour. Gray morning clouds obscured the sun, but thankfully, its rays would break through by the time we reached our destination. The cruise port is at the foot of La Rambla, Barcelona's most famous boulevard, which runs through the heart of the city center. A short bus ride would take us to Terminal B, where the Costa Fascinosa was docked beside TUI's Mein Schiff Relax, which we hope to experience in the future. Our designated boarding time was 5 hours from now, but they let us board straight away. After a quick security check and document inspection, we were given our room keys. From the gangway, we had a closer look at our home for the next 40 hours. The Costa Fascinosa stands at 951 feet in length with a capacity of 3,780 passengers. We boarded the Fascinosa through Deck 3, and our first glimpse of the ship was of the atrium. It felt majestic, and if you haven't been on a cruise before, it's hard to comprehend you are inside a ship. Before anything else, we must go to our cabin, almost midship, one deck below.
As we said before, we are first-time cruisers. This is John's first ever cruise, but in theory this is my second cruise. However, I was too young when my aunt and uncle invited me on an Alaska cruise, and I consider this to be my first proper cruise.
I have never been on the open ocean before and I always found it intimidating, so it's time to face that fear.
I got extremely seasick on the Alaska cruise, but this time I came prepared with ginger capsules, ginger gum, and proper nausea medication in case this don't work.
We both have things to overcome, but our ultimate goal is to enjoy ourselves.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Let's go!
Our sail away is in a few hours. The ship will leave Barcelona for Savona, Italy, with a stop in Marseille, France tomorrow morning. The Costa Fascinosa is a Concordia-class ship, attended by a crew of 1,100. The ship's decor features a theme reminiscent of the theater, opera, and cinema. It features 4 pools, 5 hot tubs, a casino, 6 restaurants, 12 bars, and sports courts like basketball and tennis. We'll show you as much as we can of the Fascinosa as we leave our first cruise adventure. And what better way to start an adventure than with a good meal? We rode the crystal elevators up to Deck 9, where Tulip Panonero, the buffet restaurant, was located. We loved the view from up high. Seeing how beautiful the sea looked from up here made us more excited about the journey that would soon begin. What we didn't love was the buffet line. The way the food stations are set up means you have to go through them all, even if you're not interested in many of them. This needlessly increases the waiting time. We sat at a table near the windows to enjoy the view while we ate. John loved the tandoori chicken, while I had the few vegetarian options I could find. After lunch, we explored the stern of the ship, a popular spot on board. There was a bar, a pool too cold for our taste, and 2 hot tubs 1 deck above that passed the temperature test and were calling our names. Next, we headed to the ice cream shop on deck 5. We went through the casino, where we might lose some money later on, and then realized ice cream was not included. We naively thought our fare included many more things that were not included, like the pizzeria, the sushi restaurant, the street food spot, and many more. The whimsical confetti floor made us forget about the ice cream, so we went for coffee at the Topkapi Grand Bar next door. We had a pair of delicious latte macchiatos, or cafés con leche in Spanish. We returned to our cabin to grab our life jackets and go to the theater for the safety instructions. Luckily, we figured out in time that we could do the safety briefing on the Costa app and briefly report to our muster station instead. By the way, until this point, I thought it was Mustard Station.
Now is the perfect time for a cabin tour. Since this is our first cruise, we chose an inside cabin, and honestly we thought it was going to be smaller. We were pleasantly surprised when we entered for the first time and saw how big it is. Also the size of the bed, we love it. It's also quite big, and the design is not contemporary, but it doesn't look dated. It looks perfectly maintained and we kinda love it. We have no windows in our room, but we can see outside on our TV. Even the bathroom is big. The shower is quite spacious and there's plenty of counter space. There's plenty of storage space. The second reason why we chose an inside cabin is because we're not planning to spend much time in it, so let's go outside.
It was almost sail away time, so we headed to the stern to watch our departure from Barcelona. The wind made the afternoon colder while we waited. We left the port over an hour late due to a medical emergency on board. As we watched the Mein Schiff sail by, a thick fog rolled in. This meant we wouldn't have the clear views we hoped for, but the mist made the setting feel like a Sherlock Holmes mystery which we loved. Since our day began so early to get to the cruise on time, we needed a nap.
And now it's time for dinner. We booked the second shift for dinner at 9:30, and we're now going up to deck 3 for the Otto e Mezzo restaurant. We're super hungry.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Let's go.
When we arrived, we were escorted to our table, where we made friends with guests from Venezuela, Peru, and Brazil. For starters, John ordered the salmon tartare, which he enjoyed. I had the grilled vegetables with pita bread and hummus. For the first course, I ordered delicious gratin gnocchis and John the linguine frutti di mare. His only note was that it could have more shellfish. As mains, we ordered 2 solid dishes, zucchini bites and stewed beef with potato puree. Finally, we had a somewhat dry cake and a decadent chocolate dish called Bon Bon for dessert.
So now that dinner's over, what did you think about dinner?
I actually loved everything I tasted. I especially liked the dessert. It was great.
My only complaint was that my entree or my starter was cold. It was grilled vegetables and it was in the freezer or outside.
Yeah, that
it was
wasn't
stone
supposed
cold.
to be cold.
So that wasn't good, but the rest of my food was also great. And how did you feel about sharing a table?
I really like it because that way you get to know people, and actually the people we met tonight They were really nice.
Yes, I knew we were sharing a table, but you didn't.
I didn't. I was surprised when we got to the restaurant and the waiter told us, yeah, you need to sit here. I was like, what? Are we sharing a table? But I actually liked it.
When it comes to your first day on a cruise, what did surprise you or you found interesting?
For me, it is so strange that we are in an actual ship, but when you're inside, you don't feel like you're in it. You feel like you're in a building or a shopping mall. It is so strange, but I really like it. I mean, the only thing I didn't like that much is we used to go to all-inclusives and there you can eat whatever you want. Here, there's a lot of restaurants that are not included, but that's the only thing I didn't.
Yeah, but I think that depends on the cruise company, on the ship, on the route. It's not everything like this. This is our first cruise, so I basically don't know, but watching videos, I believe it depends on the company. Some companies include more things than others, and this one apparently doesn't include many things.
Yeah.
I did find navigating the ship quite confusing, especially the part about when you're on different decks. You can't go on every deck all the way up or down the ship.
Oh, yes.
So I'm starting to learn how to navigate the ship now, and it depends on which elevator you get into and where you go down the stairs. So that's a bit tricky, but it's cool.
I'm really enjoying it so far. We went outside a few minutes ago and it was dark, like black, and I really freaked out, so we had to go inside. It's so scary.
You want to go to the 80s, 90s, 70s part?
I believe it's 60s, 70s, and 80s.
I think it's 70s, 80s, 90s.
Oh, the ship is moving.
Let's see who wins.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
60s, 70s, and 80s.
70s, 80s, 90s. Okay, that's my bet.
Let's go.
It was, in fact, a 60s, 70s, and 80s party, so John won this bet. The party was at Salon Chéri on Deck 5. The atmosphere was super lively, the entertainment team was animated, and fellow guests were very into the music. We were among the youngest people at the party, but we were definitely not the most energetic, as older people were really showing off their dancing moves. By the time the party ended, we were exhausted, so we returned to our cabin to get ready for bed.
Good morning from Marseille, France. Ari is quite tired, he is still sleeping, but I need my coffee and some water, so join me for a solo coffee.
By the time I joined John, we were already docked in Marseille. I wanted to see the ship's arrival, but the completely dark interior cabin made me sleep like a 460-month-old baby. Our plans for the day included exploring Marseille, but not without having breakfast first. While we ate, we enjoyed the view of the Costa Toscana and the MSC Fantasia docked beside us. Every time we see a new cruise ship, we can't wait to get on them.
Morning, I slept amazingly, like I haven't slept in months. I don't know if it's because the cabin is so dark, but I slept great. That's why John had to go out without me early. We had breakfast, it was nice. I didn't have as much food as I would usually have, like in an all-inclusive or another trip. We're trying to balance eating with our traveling, because when you travel a certain amount of time out of the year, then you begin to eat a lot and gain weight, and you waste all your efforts in the gym, your diet, everything else. So we're trying to balance that. We are in Marseille. We didn't plan what to do. We were so excited about the cruise that we neglected to book anything. So we're going to get off the ship and see what there is to see here in Marseille. I'm sure it's beautiful. We'll see you once we get up here.
Little did I know that we'd be back on the ship in less than an hour, but let's back up. We got off the ship and walked to a nearby bus stop to catch a free shuttle to the city center. We waited about half an hour for the bus to arrive, and seeing this many people waiting, we estimated we wouldn't even be able to get on it. That's when we decided to walk to the city center, eager to see places like, wait, let me warm up my French. Basilique Notre-Dame de la Grande, Les Vieux Ports, Château d'If, and Palais Longchamp. We watched helplessly as we walked in the scorching sun as the shuttle drove by us. Worst of all, it was plenty big to fit everyone. After that blow to morale and seeing that it was already afternoon and we needed to return to the ship by 5 p.m., we decided to play it safe and head back. Back on the ship, we went to the solarium on deck 9 to sip piña coladas. For lunch, we chose Gato Pardo restaurant instead of the buffet, which was very crowded despite being a port day. Everything we had was delicious except for dessert, which was okay. We had dishes like smoked salmon with toasted almonds, grilled vegetables tartare, penne with rocket pesto and mozzarella, and fusilli sautéed with nungia. We had to look it up. Nungia is a spicy, spreadable pork sausage from Calabria region in Italy. After lunch, we went to deck 10 to soak in the sun. It was a perfect afternoon to lay on a lounge chair and take in the French landscape. We called our parents, which made the moment even more special. When we started to sweat, we went to Topkapi Bar on deck 5 for a music trivia game. We were confident in our trivia abilities, but that confidence disappeared as the rounds went on. Even though we performed terribly, we had a lot of fun laughing at our very wrong answers. But hey, at least we performed better on the world currencies trivia. Unlike yesterday, the weather was perfect for watching the ship leave port to continue our journey. Seagulls escorted us as we left Marseille behind. As you know, we are booked for the second dinner shift, but we were hungry now. We waited for the buffet to open at 7. What was supposed to be a light snack before dinner quickly escalated into something more.
We're trying to balance eating.
Since we couldn't catch the late shows in the theater because we'd be at dinner, we went to the theater at 7:30. The show was titled Talia Alexis, The Music in Me. We were blown away by her talent. They picked just the right songs for her voice. We wanted to rest before dinner, so we returned to our cabin. We love watching random TV shows while traveling, and this couple of cooking nuns were somehow always on, and we couldn't get enough of them.
Si sta in cucina, non si è mai soli.
After dappering up, we went to Otto e Mezzo and headed for the same table. We were glad to see all our friends from yesterday there waiting for us to order, which was a nice gesture. Among tonight's dishes were meat-stuffed ravioli with tomato sauce and pesto, slow-roasted veal with potatoes, spring rolls, and dark chocolate cake. Dinner and conversation were better than the day before. We stayed almost until the restaurant was empty.
As you can see, John is doing really well regarding his fear of the ocean. More or less. He says the black part is the one that gets him.
I just need to look at the white part as the
foam?
Yeah, the foam, and I'm okay. Yeah.
For me, I have not gotten seasick I know it depends on the trip, the ocean, but on this one, I've gotten the ginger pills in the morning and I have not felt seasick at all, so I'd call that a total win. So I believe the mission we first started with,
Yes,
facing your fear and me not getting seasick, was accomplished.
that's good. Yes. Let's go inside.
Yeah, it's really cold actually.
Back inside, there was a vibrant party in the atrium, but since we had to leave the cabin by the 8 a.m. checkout time, we only stayed for a few songs. Heading to our cabin, we were actually looking forward to the non-cooking show. Sadly, it wasn't on, but what's the next best thing to cooking nuns? Cooking fryers. We fell asleep with them in the background as we sailed to our final port, Savona, Italy.
Savona, thank you for coming along on this cruise adventure of many more to come. In the meantime, join us on this video, YouTube Things You Love.